is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. High wind gusts brought down an electrical wire in Fargo this afternoon. It happened on Main Avenue near 42nd Street next to an Xcel Energy substation. That downline lit a patch of grass on fire, but crews were able to quickly put it out. We're going to go straight over to Hutch tonight with a look at your forecast. Hutch?
Yeah, thanks so much. As we head into the evening hours, it remains dusty and gusty outside. Some gusts over 35 miles per hour today. And it definitely did pick up more gust, even though we have had some recent showers. And now we have a few spotty thunder showers making their way through the region. One up north, one moving along the Highway 200 corridor, and some exiting down to the south, right along I-94 there, not far from Rothsay, straight down towards Wheaton and the Big Stone area. A little bit more thunder and lightning with those. None of these are severe. Batch of showers now moving through southern Polk County, one near Red Lake Falls and the Highway 11 corridor in Roseau County. The heat is on along with this wind. So dry and dusty conditions will continue across most of North Dakota tonight. Spotty showers on the Minnesota side of the river will be possible. Your temperatures are not cool, but cooler. Near 90 the next couple of hours in the FM area before falling down towards the 80-degree mark as we head into the overnight hours. We do have a chance of some beneficial rain showers, and we'll have an update on that Father's Day forecast right here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. Police are still looking for at least 2 people who got away from them in a stolen car after a chase. Officers tried stopping a driver around 2 this morning who had multiple warrants out for their arrest, but they called off the chase in the Johnson Farms area. They later found the abandoned car at 20th Street and 40th Avenue South and brought in a K-9 team to do a track, but it came up empty. People living in that area are being asked to check security cameras to see if they captured the suspects. Recognize these faces. The Fargo Police Department needs your help identifying several people of interest in theft, vandalism, and criminal mischief cases. If you have any information on who or where any of these people might be, text Fargo PD to 847-411 or submit an anonymous tip online. You'll notice each photo has a case number on the bottom. You're asked to reference that number if you have a tip. Police say the community can play an important role in finding criminals and making the city a safer place. Moorhead police are asking for your help finding the people behind some catalytic converter thefts. Police say the person in this photo is suspected of 2 thefts on the east side of the city within the last month. They drive a gray Pontiac Grand Prix. Another person is suspected of stealing a catalytic converter from a business in May. Police say that person was driving a maroon Ford Taurus. If you have any information about the thefts, contact Moorhead Police. Things got heated at a conference about critical race theory in Moorhead last night, and parents are left wondering what it is. According to Education Week, a site covering K through 12 education, critical race theory is a concept most often used in college classrooms. The core idea of the theory is that racism is a product of broader society rather than an individual's bias or prejudices, and that the historical precedent of racism has caused it to become embedded into legal systems and policies. Several parents posted in a local Facebook group criticizing the concept and demanding school districts keep it out of the classroom. We reached out to the school districts in the metro. They say even though it's created a stir recently, critical race theory has never been a part of their curriculum, and they don't plan on changing that. Crime is on the rise in downtown Fargo. That's what the police department said in their community meeting this morning. Calls for service have increased to about 850 May to June compared to 760 between April and May. That's about a 10% jump. Aggravated assaults and citations have seen an increase, but drinking in public and thefts continue to be the biggest issues. Police say these meetings are important because they can hear directly from the community about their concerns.
The best place to understand what the concerns are is by having these community meetings. And so when we understand what people's concerns are, it helps us focus our attention and our efforts as a police department to work collaboratively with them.
Fargo police tell retail stores to make sure they have quality cameras, preferably surveillance cameras and silent alarms. They say make frequent cash deposits when there's too much on hand, post signs like no bills over $50, and keep a cash box and secure employees' valuables. They say not to engage with a confrontational person, contact police, and they'll take care of it. Protesters were out in the streets of Minneapolis overnight, leaving debris in the road to barricade officers. City Works crews, protected by the police, were out in the intersection clearing out the debris left by the protesters. The mayor said protesters who were violent or interfered with city business would be arrested and that did end up happening. Police moved in and made some arrests. Protests at this intersection started earlier this month after the shooting death of Winston Smith by deputies on a federal task force. The mayor says he's trying to strike a balance between people's right to protest and public safety. The man accused of plowing his SUV into a crowd of protesters Sunday night has been charged. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office has charged 35-year-old Nicholas Kraus with second-degree murder. Investigators say he hit a parked car with his SUV, pushing it into a group of protesters. The owner of that car was pronounced dead at the hospital shortly after the crash. Kraus also faces 2 counts of second-degree assault. Police say he does not have a valid license as a result of multiple DUI offenses. They suspect drugs and alcohol were also a factor in this crash. President Biden held a news conference following his face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Geneva, Switzerland. The two leaders sat down at a time when relations between the two countries are at a low point. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
President Biden shook hands with President Vladimir Putin outside a villa in Geneva ahead of a high-stakes summit at a critical time for U.S.-Russia relations.
There's no substitute, as those of you who have covered me for a while know, for face-to-face dialogue between leaders.
Inside, the two leaders sat across from each other during a chaotic photo op. Among the topics on the table, nuclear arms control, Russian interference in U.S. elections, and cyber attacks. Russian-based hackers are blamed for 2 recent crippling cyber attacks targeting American businesses.
I talked about the proposition that certain critical infrastructure should be off limits to attack, period.
Asked during his news conference about Russian involvement in the attacks, Putin said his country is facing similar threats. The summit was shorter than expected. The two sides estimated it would last between 4 to 5 hours, but it only lasted a little more than 3 hours. Ahead of the summit, President Biden had said he would make clear which Russian activities would be met with a strong response.
If that message is conveyed clearly, experts tell me, then you would see slowly, not too fast, but slowly, the Russians start to change some of their behavior in small ways.
Putin indicated during his news conference the meeting was productive and ambassadors from each country will be returning to their posts in the future. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The two nations agreed to work together on nuclear arms control, embarking on a bilateral strategic stability dialogue in the near future. Emergency responders in Illinois are still working on containing a chemical fire that started Monday. They've removed the mask mandate for anyone within 3 miles of the plant, but nearby residents are still being kept from their homes. Dozens of people will spend another night at a Red Cross shelter at a nearby middle school, including 94-year-old Mickey Tooley.
I heard it sounded like a bomb's going off. I looked out the window and all these big clouds of smoke and fire, and I couldn't believe what was going on.
The new focus will be the debris that was left behind from the intense fire. Emergency officials want to know what's in the rubble, so they will be conducting rapid tests to determine just that. Minnesota is celebrating a COVID-19 vaccine milestone today. 3 million of the state's 5 million residents are at least partially vaccinated. Governor Walz announced today that the state is reporting fewer than 100 new cases each day for the first time since April 2020. The governor also says that nearly all hospitalizations since December have been unvaccinated residents. Here's something you don't see every day: a house up on blocks getting ready to be moved. It'll be a sight for the next few days. Even more houses are being moved this week, so drivers should expect delays. This house move happened on 40th Avenue North in Fargo. Temporary road closures were in place as the building was slowly driven down the street. The American Red Cross is asking for your help battling a severe blood shortage. Donors of all types are needed, especially type O and platelets. Some hospitals are being forced to slow the pace of elective surgeries until the blood supply stabilizes. More than 1/3 of the country is eligible to give blood, but less than 10% actually do. Each donation can save up to 3 lives. There's a blood drive in Fargo tomorrow. It's at the First International Bank and Trust on 40th Avenue South from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Donors must be over the age of 17 and meet a minimum weight requirement. Amazon is offering a $5 gift card for all donors through the end of the month. Fargo may be about to get even more fun. A water park may be coming to the city. Local real estate and development firm Epic Companies is looking for feedback from the community about the proposed attraction. Epic is considering other amenities for the 45th Street site, including a hockey rink, a stage, and a hotel. The company is offering a survey to anyone who wants to make their opinions heard. It's only been posted for about a week and already has more than 4,000 responses. You can find a link to it on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. Many people are getting into cryptocurrency, and an unlucky few are seeing their money instantly vanish. We'll break down some new scams and what you need to look out for next.
Gusty and dusty today. Peak wind gust in Fargo 40 miles per hour, 48 in Minot. Blue skies aplenty out there as we went through the afternoon, and temperatures, well, we're in the upper 80s. Your hour-by-hour forecast is coming up right after this.